Thank you for staying with us. And as I had earlier on indicated, tonight we will be focusing on food insecurity and some of the measures the government has rolled out and looking at the impact. Now we look at the demand for subsidized fertilizer has shot up in the last month as the planting season begins in the country's food basket regions. The Kenya National Trading Corporation says it has so far distributed 80,000 tons of planting fertilizer across 12 counties, and an additional 12 counties have been added to the subsidy program.
Fertilizer is the first input to be subsidized after the retail price of the commodity reached a historic high of 7,000 shillings in some regions mid-last year. The government intervened to reduce the price of fertilizer to 3,500 shillings.
How the fertilizer and the farmers are receiving messages, and they are going to they go to collect their fertilizer that has been subsidized, and they are paying 3,500. The government is subsidizing at a cost of 1,500.
The Kenya National Trading Corporation says the uptake of the subsidized fertilizer has started to increase after apparently 1,431 farmers purchased the chemical out of a targeted 1 million farmers in early February.
We started distribution of fertilizers to these farmers 5 days ago, and because we are starting, the picking is a bit slow, but we have registered that 1,431 farmers have already picked their fertilizers, and some of them have started using them.
KNTC says it has so far distributed 80,000 tons of subsidized planting fertilizer to farmers in 12 counties that are currently experiencing rains.
Started the process of shipping fertilizer to 12 counties, which is the breadbasket of Kenya. And normally from regions like Narok, Bomet, they start planting early in January. So we started shipping fertilizer based on the planting patterns of farmers in the different regions when they expect rains. And so far we have shipped over 50,000 metric tons. I think we are almost at 80,000 metric tons now.
An additional 12 counties have been added to the subsidy program and are scheduled to start receiving the chemical mid this month. Farmers in parts of central Kenya will have to wait a little bit longer before they access the subsidized fertilizer, as the government is giving key priority to areas that have already started receiving the long rains.
I know farmers in Nyeri, in Kirinyaga have been a bit concerned. Nyandarua, fertilizer has not reached. We are coming. We have been advised by Ministry of Agriculture on where the season starts. When do we move? When do we shift from planting? We move planting to this side, then we start taking top dressing to the other side.
The corporation says top dressing fertilizer will also be available to farmers from the initial 12 counties.
NPK is for planting. NPK 23 is for planting. CAN, we've also imported CAN. That is for top dressing.
The trading corporation further says it has imported 55,000 tons of the chemical from Saudi Arabia, with 2 local companies contracted to import an additional 245,000 tons for the whole subsidy program.
For the season, we've got over 300,000 metric tons, which coming through Mombasa. What we've imported as KNTC is 55,000 metric tons. What we're getting locally is the balance, which is up to almost 250,000 metric tons.
The subsidy program was allocated 15 billion shillings in the supplementary budget, half of the 30 billion shillings that is needed to lower the cost of fertilizer to pre-COVID levels of 2,500 shillings.
For the season, we've got over 300,000 metric tons, which coming through Mombasa. What we've imported as KNTC is 55,000 metric tons. What we're getting locally is the balance, which is up to almost 250,000 metric tons.
Benson Droba reporting for Prime Edition.